Hey everybody, I'm Todd Anderson,
And I'm Michael Majors.
and you're watching the Versus series on StarCityGames.com. All right, we got the first Standard Open in the books, SCG Atlanta. We're filming this right before that, so we don't actually know what happened yet. I have a good feeling.
I got a good idea.
Yeah, I got a good feeling. I'm gonna guess that Saheeli did really well, and I'm also gonna guess.
But I think Mardu won.
Yeah, I think Mardu won as well. There are some interesting lists popping up here and there that I think deserve a second look at the very least from the lesser archetypes. But for the most part, without any bans on Gideon or Feldar Guardian, I have a feeling it's just going to be the same old.
Yeah, I think the story format's going to be interesting. A lot of the decks are going to be the same, but I think there's going to be lots of small tweaks both within 4-color Saheeli and Mardu vehicles. And then also the fringe archetypes from last season definitely got upgrades. So I do expect the black-green Deliriums of the world to show up. Today I'll be playing a blue-white control deck, which looks vastly different than last standard season. So I think this is something to actually look out for. Drakehaven specifically kind of breathes new life into lots of blue decks, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with a lot of these control decks in the past is that they have to play some sort of kind of expensive or mid-rangey threat that doesn't really work well with, let's say, Fumigate.
Sure.
Or any other sort of Wrath effect. Like your blue-black decks have to play like Kalidas. Of course, Torrential Gearhulk is the exception because you usually cast the Wrath before you cast that card. But Drakehaven gives the deck this cheap card that can apply a lot of pressure, and it incentivizes you to play these new cards from Amonkhet that all look actually pretty good. The reprint of Renewed Faith, Censor as a cheap counter spell, and all sorts of just good cyclers.
Yeah, I think you actually are incentivized just to play these cards anyways. Like Censor, Cast Out, Renewed Faith, Curator of Mysteries are just good cards.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the new Cycling Duels are very good in these 2-color decks as well. So, I mean, you're by default trying to play at least somewhere in the range of 12 to 20 cyclers anyways. So you might as well just play Drakehaven.
Yeah, this matchup should show off just how good Drakehaven is as long as Michael can survive for the first 4 turns. I'm going to be playing Mardu Vehicles, the bad guy of the format. My pick to have won SCG Atlanta. I don't know. The deck just feels like it didn't really change. I mean, there's obviously some slight tweaks. Like the sideboard has access to Cut to Ribbons. Cut to Ribbons is very good. But other than that, yeah, Gideon, Heart of Kieran.
You have Glorybringer. I do think it's important to note this iteration of Mardu Vehicles, which Jerry Thompson wrote about, has Nahiri, the Harbinger, in the main deck. And I think Nahiri is going to, even though it's an old card, obviously, it kind of feels new and fresh in this format. I have Drakehaven, which Nahiri is super good against. If I ever just tap out for Drakehaven and Nahiri munches it, then it's probably just game over on the spot. But also just Cast Out's going to be a hugely popular card in this format, and that makes Nahiri very powerful.
Yeah, being able to unlock your Gideon after your opponent, deals with it with the Cast Out is a pretty big deal. And yeah, I think Nahiri could make a resurgence just because of how powerful Cast Out is as a card. But, it is vulnerable to that as well as, various disenchant effects. So we're once again, showcasing in Standard how an enchantment-based removal spell can just get blown out.
Yep, can definitely backfire.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to be the matchup. Me on Mardu Vehicles, Michael playing blue-white Drakehaven Control. Let's go ahead and get to the match and see who takes it down.
All right, Todd.
Poker hand?
Let's do it.
All right. See if I can get you. I'm rooting for a straight. We haven't had a straight yet.
Oh, I got two pair.
Oh, one pair. There? Just one pair of sixes.
Dope. I'm victorious. And here we have a classic example of how a hand might look when you fill your deck full of cyclers. It could be anything.
Yeah. Could even be a boat.
But I do have lands and cheap cyclers, so it's definitely a keep, but I'm definitely looking for some interaction.
All right. My side, we have kind of one of the classic starts, so hopefully this is good. All right, so that's not quite classic. It is an okay start, though.
Classic light. I do think I just want to take this turn to play an Enter the Battlefield tap land.
I think it's interesting to point out how the cycling lands from Amonkhet actually affect how you play your lands in the early turns. It's kind of great because they actually work really well with the Port Town cycle, right? Because
Yeah.
they count as the Plains Island.
The Shadowlands have gotten a lot better, and I think the Battlelands have gotten worse.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off here with a Toolcraft Exemplar and get a clue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna trigger this and attack.
17.
All right. No immolating glare. We can play around Sensor if we want to and just not cast anything. I think I'm okay with him burning a Sensor on a Thraben Inspector here. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Here you go.
Cycle Renewed Faith and go to 19.
Man, that just feels good, doesn't it?
It does, but I am kind of getting beat up over there.
I had the option to try to apply a little more pressure with a second Toolcraft Exemplar, but I didn't really want to. Well. All right, whatever. Attack.
Yeah, take 5, 14.
Again, kind of want to try to play around the counterspell, so we are just going to play another Toolcraft. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Go.
All right, cycle hieroglyphic illumination. And I'll cycle Curator of Mysteries.
All right.
Okay. Kind of a weird spot. I think we're just going to play our land and say go.
All right. We'll pop one clue. Basically, just digging for Gideon to cast after he hits us with a Fumigate next turn, I suppose. All right. Battle.
All right. I take 8. I'm at 6.
All right. No real reason to apply any more pressure. Just gonna say go.
All right. Cycle Curator of Mysteries. Cycle Renewed Faith. Go to 8. Cycle Cast Out.
A part of me kind of wanted to play this Thali Heretic Cathar just in case his 5th land came into play tapped. But maybe his 5th land doesn't exist.
Yep. Got pretty unlucky there. Oh man, we're in bad shape now. Classic blue-white control problems.
Just cycled 15 cards.
Yep, just cantrip 6 times and miss a land drop. I think I do need to dig for a land just because if one enters the battlefield tapped, then we're in just such horrible shape. So, I'm gonna cycle this cast out. Okay, there's that Temple of Tilt, like we drew it up. Your turn.
All right. Well, there's a good chance that one of my Toolcraft Exemplars doesn't make it through combat, but we still have to present lethal damage here, and I'm not going to crack the clue because we don't have another artifact just yet. All right. Let's trigger these.
Yep.
Attack for 8. All right. Immolating Glare. He's still going to take 5s and go down to 3. And here is the problem with standard. Gideon.
Yep.
Make a knight.
Yeah, I had all the tools to beat this draw and just stumbled, so.
Yeah.
Yep. If I draw an untapped land there, I have Censor available. But, as it were, I am just going to die. I do think it's worth noting that this is kind of why I'm hesitant to play for Drakehaven. Is if I just can never find a spot to play it, then I can just draw multiples and it's really bad. So
sure.
I gain 4, get a 7. Go.
Huh. Possible I shouldn't even have. I probably I should either ticked it up or maybe just played it pre-combat and tried to make an emblem.
Yeah, you would have beat Glare if you did that.
Yeah. And I don't think you could have 2 spells in that spot. Unless, well, your deck for sure, but I have to maybe think you're playing Fatal Push when I see that land, so.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
I don't know. I did just give him an extra life, though, and that puts him out of range of dying. What are you at, 7 now?
7.
All right, well. Squash.
Deuce.
Just play this, and I kind of want to crack this clue. I should probably crack this first.
Sure.
Play this.
Yep.
And I don't think I need this extra land, so I'm just going to hold it and cycle it. Your turn.
Cycle my illumination. I have a Gear Hulk, but even if I glare the Thalia, it enters the battlefield tapped, so I'm going to die. I guess I could... Oh, even if I play Renewed Faith, I go to 8 life, and this is 8, so... Yep, I'm dead.
Okay. Oh, that is kind of cool. You can just flash back a full Renewed Faith.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Classic Renewed Faith. All right, back here for game 2. Got some lands, some velocity stuff, a couple answers. Think we're in good shape.
Yep, my hand also looks very good, especially for this matchup. Yeah, but we did mulligan a 1-lander into this, so let's take a look at our scry. We may need another land down the road, but for now, we're just going to dig for more spells.
Yep, I'm going to start on Fetipulse.
All right, here he comes. Toolcraft Nicodle.
Port Town, Revealed Plains, go ahead.
So, the threat here of Censor makes me want to play this as my artifact.
Yep.
Attack for 3.
Yep, 17.
Huh. Alrighty, your turn.
Cycle. Cycle. Go.
Alright, no Drakehaven there. That might have been really bad for us, but not sure. I guess we'll lead off here. Try to cast a Heart of Kieran before attacks, just in case my Scrap Heap Scrounger bites it.
No, counter it.
Sure. Alright, 6.
All right, 11.
So much pressure. So stupid.
Go.
Still don't really want to get hit with Censor. Try my best not to. Does make me curve worse. Alright, sure.
Awesome Scatter.
Sure. Alright, tax. Trigger.
Glare.
Take 3, put you down to 8. Your turn. See if I can weather the storm.
I think I should just lead on cycling a cast out. Go.
Right, attack.
Yep, take this hit. 5.
I will try again on a Heart of Kieran.
That's fine.
Your turn.
Cast out this.
Womp womp.
Cycle Renewed Faith. Go to 7.
Your deck's just doing so much stuff.
So much, nothing. Go.
Attack.
Yep, 4.
I will try to play another Scrounger.
Results.
Don't really want to play this other card in my hand, because I want to try to bring back a Scrounger. Your turn.
Alright, play Fumigate.
Alright, so you go up to 6.
Yep.
Sure.
You gotta float your black mana before.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I go to 19.
Go.
Alright, bring this back.
Yep.
Untap. Alright, put you 3.
Yep.
I think I'm fine just with the threat of doing this for 1 and holding up the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Your turn.
Cycle farmland. Go ahead.
All right, bring this back.
Yep.
So powerful. What are we afraid of for 5 mana?
I don't know.
I don't either. Is there like some really insane card for 5 mana that I don't know about?
No, I'm dead. Stacks are just always awful. All right, we're back here for sideboarding of blue-white control versus Mardu vehicles. On the play, I'm going to try to incorporate the Spellcaller strategy. I think it's probably pretty good against Todd going a little bit bigger on the curve. He's incentivized to board out some of his removal spells. Spellcaller can fight some of the Planeswalkers in Todd's deck and kind of lines up pretty well against like Walking Ballista specifically. And it can also just like make Thraben Specters not be able to attack, Night Tokens not be able to attack. Just take some pressure off my life total, which is pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, you can like stall a spell for a turn or two and then trade with like a Toolcraft Exemplar as well.
Yeah. Possibly we just take it out on the draw, but I'm going to try it on the play. Forsake the Worldly, just a decent card against Scrapheap Scrounger. It's not like the most clean, efficient trade on mana, but the fact that I can cycle it means it's pretty good in my deck. Negate, very powerful against host of Planeswalkers, Heart of Kieran, etc. It's very good against Mardu vehicles. And then Linval the Preserver is kind of just a big thing that can stabilize the battlefield. Lets us, like, to some extent, out top deck Todd. He does have Sorin Grim Nemesis coming in, but it's just something that stabilizes the battlefield, gives us more breathing room. Good thing to have on top of our curve, in addition to Torrential Gearhulk. And then cards I'm taking out, some copies of Drakehaven. Basically, this is a nod to the Spellcaller plan. I think on the draw, we might bring back in a copy of Drakehaven when we take these out.
Sure.
And then Renewed Faith, kind of the weakest cycler. Gaining 2 life isn't that big of a deal. If Todd's winning on the battlefield, then the life gain is whatever, and cycling for 2 is kind of taxed with Forsake the Worldly in our deck. Fumigate gets worse. Again, Todd is going a little bit bigger, not with a ton of Planeswalkers like we normally see, but when I'm bringing in Spellcaller, I don't really want Wrath as well. And then Essence Scatter is just worse than Negate in this matchup.
Sure. Okay. My side, as Michael already pointed out, the removal spells are not great for the most part. Spellcaller could be problematic since we are boarding out 2 ways to actually deal with it, but we're bringing in a way that can actually kill it anyway. Yeah, Sorin Grim Nemesis. This is not normally a matchup where I would want to transform into like a slower, more planeswalkery version. You know, we want to just apply as much pressure in the early turns as possible. Then when Michael taps out to deal with our stuff, we try to resolve, you know, a 4-mana planeswalker like a Nahiri or a Gideon. In this situation, though, since we do have a bunch of removal spells that don't really do anything in our sideboard, like we could bring in like Walking Ballista as an example, but I think just having a pretty big impact card in the later turns is going to be good. We don't really have much else besides that. This helps with Drakehaven and Cast Out. Same with this. So.
All right, back here for game 3. Our mana is definitely a little awkward, the way this hand is set up, but I don't know. A little bit of interaction and some bigger stuff, so I think it's a fine keep.
All right, my side, just another classic Mardu hand. That's all I got.
Okay. Port Town, reveal Scattered Grove. Go ahead. Jumping the gun. So excited to cycle.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I can say, oh, turn 1 Toolcraft Exemplar. 5 out of 5, hopefully. Go. All right. Well, we're probably going to get hit with a counterspell here. I can try to play around Censor and just play Thraben Inspector, but if he doesn't have it, Heart of Kieran just applies so much more pressure. So we're going to try.
Sure.
We'll attack for 3. Clear it. It is blasted.
I think I just want to play this and say go.
All right, draw. All right. Well, we could try to cycle into a creature that can crew Heart of Kieran. But I might need to cast out just to be able to beat Drakehaven or maybe some Planeswalker you might cast next turn. This is a little tough. I guess I'll just wait.
Sure.
Get a clue and play this and say go.
I could certainly see a world where this card is actually just good this game, but we can't cast it for 2 more turns the way our hand is set up. So I think we just want to try to dig for more lands. Okay. Go.
Yeah, we're gonna hold on to the cast out, I think. Maybe not. I'm gonna take 1.
Yep.
If I draw Toolcraft Exemplar, alright. I was gonna be upset. Well, now we have a couple of choices. I think the best route is to play a 2/2 Walking Ballista.
Sure.
Alright, we'll crew this and attack.
I'll forsake that.
Sure. It is exiled, sir.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
What now? Suppose we just attack.
Yep.
So, is that first damage?
I think so.
Wow, everything got killed yeah, YOLO. He's gonna be casting Gear Hulk soon, so we gotta kind of force his hand. I guess we could have waited until the next turn to
try to overload my
cast it.
turn 6. Yeah.
Go. So now he just has a counterspell. All right, Heart of Kuran.
Sure.
Raven Inspector.
Sure.
Go.
And I think we just want to kind of start trying to pull ahead here. So I'm just gonna draw 2.
Oh man, it's almost like a Glimmer.
Yeah. Illuminations is that versus Glimmers is definitely an interesting part of the way this deck is built. It's not really clear to me yet. I think in reality you probably want like a 2-2 split rather than a 4-0 in either direction. Curator.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is not great. Not great at all. All right, attack.
All right, I'll cycle this. Scry 1. Yeah, I think we're just happy to keep this card. I think it's definitely fine. Do we trade here is the question. I kind of would like to try to get some sort of advantage off this curator, because if we just like draw a cycling card next turn, we can kind of go off. We're at 17. I'm just gonna take the hit.
13.
Also, might just turn on backup Heart of Kiran in his hand.
We'll try to cast this. Go to 17.
I'll negate it.
Tilt. All right, your turn.
All right, would like something that does something this turn.
Something that does something. That's not very specific.
It's not. You have 2 cards.
I have 2 cards.
I'm at 13.
You are at 13.
Mush ya.
Squash. Yeah, sure.
11.
I was at 17. I'm at
Ooh, even better.
9.
Oh, Spire Ministry. Okay.
Or 8. Sorry.
8. Yeah. Go.
That means he's got another Gear Hulk, and that means we're dead. Maybe not. All right, 7.
It's folklore.
Tilt. All right. No attacks. Your turn.
So if I send with everything, then I can do this and jump here. So that's pretty bad.
True.
Go guess I just send these two. This is interesting because obviously Todd can just try to take this up and kill our Spellcaller and get his Gideon back next turn. I guess if he chumps this, goes to 3, and eats the... That's still bad. There's just no way that's good. So basically it's a question of whether I send Curator and Gearhulk or just Gearhulk. I kind of think I don't want to trade here, as weird as it sounds.
I don't think that sounds weird at all.
Yeah, so I'm just going to send this.
Right, that too.
Go.
All right, we have a plan. That plan is to stick this up.
Yep.
All right. Crude this.
Sure.
Attack.
Yep. 9.
All right, blast this.
All right, negate Gideon.
Tilt. Tilt. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. Man. Shouldn't have. I got greedy. I didn't even think of. I always forget that you can counter the thing off with Spellcaller.
Yeah.
All right, we're here for game 4. I'm on the play, and I have a hand that is probably a mulligan, honestly. I should mulligan, but I'm going to keep it. I just want to see what happens.
My hand is really slow on the draw. I mean, if we draw like one piece of interaction, I think this hand is quite good, but we might just get run over. Yeah.
4 in a row.
Might just get run over.
I don't have an artifact yet, FYI.
It's good to know. Go.
Oh, I didn't draw attack. Go.
All right. I have a shot now.
You always had a shot, Michael.
I really didn't. You just went like hard in there. I was dead for sure.
All right. Attack.
Yeah, 18.
Let's get censored.
Nope.
There we go. That's good news for me.
Go.
Come on, deck. Cycle. Come on, deck. 4. Actually, I might not want to attack with Dahlia here. As weird as that sounds. I don't really want to get hit with like a glare. Might just mess up his next few turns. Whatever. Bang. Unconventional.
17.
Go. Just miss out on 3 points of damage because I'm a doofus. Oh, sure.
I couldn't ambush because of Dahlia.
Oh, right. Man. Just miss out on 3 points of damage.
Go.
Like a fish. Man. All right, whatever.
Oh, so good. So good. So good.
All right, attack.
Got him.
Yeah. Go. Wow. Oh, just such garbo. Just everything about this game.
Go.
Just hate it. Ooh. Wally?
Yeah.
Your turn. Man, I'm so sad right now.
All right. Life's looking decent right now.
14. Yeah.
Go.
Raw? Really, deck?
Just always have to turn my deck into a crappy fish deck. Yep.
Yeah, I got him.
16.
Your turn.
All right, hit you.
I'm at 10.
Go.
Your deck can't win games without Spellcaller. It's crazy. I'll tag.
All right.
Yeah.
15.
Right. Go. Upkeep.
Sure.
blast this.
Okay.
Fine. 6.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't have done that. Attack.
Yep.
12 to 6. I'll try this and get censored again. Okay. That's fine. Your turn. This is not looking good. At 2.
Go.
Need an untap land and Michael not have a counter spell. Rats. Man, spell color's dope. All right. Unfortunately, we do not have a turn 1 Toolcraft Exemplar. But this hand is still pretty good, so we're going to keep it.
This is kind of another one of those hands where it's pretty clunky on the draw, but let's see how it goes.
I really want to have the five times in a row start.
It's just really mean, man.
What? You beat it twice?
I guess that's technically true.
One time I didn't even deal damage with it. It just snap died. All right, attack.
Yep.
Play another one.
Oh, I'm so dead.
Bet you wish you had Horribly Awry instead of Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter sucks.
No, I just wish I had lands that enter the battlefield untapped. Oh, man.
Man, Scrappy Scrounger is stupid.
Just so freaking dead to so many things. Go.
Whack.
Yep. 11.
We are not going to cast Gideon here. Instead, we're going to cycle this. Try to draw.
Thank you for not casting Gideon.
Aw, rats. All right, your turn.
Alright, forsake the worldly. Go.
Funny story, Michael could have prevented 3 damage there, but instead chose to bluff a counterspell, and then end of turn, killed my thing. So, props to you. Slops to me.
8.
Alright, now we're going to play around Censor. Play the turn where he actually drew the counterspell now.
8.
Yeah. Your turn. That's how it goes. It's just how it goes.
I don't know. I think I'm supposed to hold this cycler. It's awkward-ish. Go.
Don't want to play a Curator of Mysteries? Get full-on blasted?
5.
All right. We'll try this stupid card.
Sure.
Go.
Cast out.
It is cast out. I'm guessing you don't have an untapped land for your 2 Torrential Gearhulks? Oh. That's actually not great.
I think I'm supposed to just do this, because if I just draw an untapped land, it's just so much better.
Do it. I don't have Unlicensed Integration, so...
You better not be lying to me.
I don't. I got cast out.
Drake in. Alright, did draw a land. Go.
Oh, I've drawn so many lands. Ugh. Well, I think we're going to lose. Unless we just draw Unlicensed Integrations off this cast out, which is kind of weird. Like, we can hit the Drake and put him to 2, and then he's dead to Unlicensed Integrations in the future. We can hit the Drake Haven and hope he just doesn't have a lot of Torrential Gearhulks, but that's usually a losing proposition.
Get this too. I
I could hit that and get Thalia back to keep his stuff tapped. I think it's just got to be this or cycle. Bold. Bold move. Go. Oh, rats.
All right, I'm gonna tighten the noose here.
Oh, all right.
Kind of a scaredy cat, go.
I'm also kind of a scaredy cat. All right, cycle this.
Uh-huh.
What in the world?
Dope.
Go.
Cycle. Pay
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Draking it up.
Yeah. I can't win anymore.
You can
That's
still just
unfortunate.
draw Disintegrate. Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm at 5, never mind.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. I don't know.
Alright. Yeah, I don't think it matters if I'm obligated to make the first move. I'll just hit for 6.
All right, 14 me?
Go.
Come on, deck. I know you have a counterspell, though, so this is just, like, irrelevant. Go. Attack, whatever. It's gonna die.
I'm left with 1 Drake. Cycle 2 Drakes.
Man. Drakehaven, when it gets going, is real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drakes.
I'm at 2.
Go.
Oh, how the tides have turned. All right.
Okay.
Game. Hashtag over.
Yay,
Your victory.
Drakes. All right, back here for the conclusion of blue-white Drakehaven control versus Mardu vehicles. I don't know. I like a lot about what the blue-white deck is doing, but I think, especially the first couple games, really showed off the weakness of having no 1-mana removal spells in your deck.
Yeah.
Like, not having access to, like, Shock, Magma Spray, or Fatal Push means that, like, Toolcraft Exemplar can just eat me alive.
Yeah, especially when you're on the draw. Like, if your opponent leads with that into Scrap Heap Scrounger and you only have one land in play, you're having to deal with 2-3 power threats and every single follow-up after that.
Yeah.
And on the back foot, when you don't have access to something like Fatal Push or Magma Spray or whatever, like, yeah, that it's just not good.
Yeah. I mean, Immolating Glare is a pretty underrated card, I think, but it just doesn't line up well against those two cards specifically. Like the Glory Bringers of the world, it's awesome, but
Yeah.
the very fast, aggressive Mardu starts is pretty weak. I think that you probably want to move towards, like, configuring your deck to have, like, 2 or 3 Drakehavens in the main and maybe a Drakehaven in the sideboard against mid-range control decks. Just because if you are, like, drawing them on, like, turn 5 or 6 after you've cycled a bunch of cards and you still have cycling stuff left over, maybe it can take over the game, but, like, it's really bad to have your opening draw unless you can play it turn 3 on the play and you're not under a bunch of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's also very good, though, against, like, other control decks, too. Like, if they don't have an early counterspell to deal with it, it's going to be a lot like those old Astral Shroud battles with Lightning Rifts. Like, whoever stuck the Lightning Rift first was able to do some chip damage early. And, when you can answer each other's threats pretty well as the game progresses, whoever is able to stick the early thing, I think, is pretty hugely advantaged. But like you said, Drakehaven is a little slow, like against the Mardu vehicles decks, and even like black-green aggro with Winding Constrictor. It is going to be a little slow, especially on the draw. But I do think like 3 is probably the right number.
Yeah,
be my guess.
In particular, like Censor and Cast Out are very impressive. Just great cards straight up.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to casting Censor a bunch. I don't know, man. The card just seems great. Just every metric.
I mean, it's just it's a beautiful card. Like they play around it, that's cool. You cycle it.
Yeah.
If they don't play around it, you get them. If you draw it in the late game, you cycle it for 1 mana. It's just a really good Magic card.
Yeah, I was very surprised at how fluid it worked when I was playing with it in like my blue-red spells deck and stuff like that. It feels like a really good card, especially for a control deck when there aren't a whole lot of options for 2 mana. Like you have Revolutionary Rebuff that can hit non-artifacts, so like Heart of Kieran, Scrap Heap Scrounger are going to be problematic. You have Negate and Essence Scatter, which don't hit the same type of card.
Yep.
Right. So like this can hit basically anything on turn 2 when you're on the play, which is pretty big in a format with so many powerful 2-drops. Like Winding Constrictor, Heart of Kieran. Those cards are really tough to deal with sometimes in a control deck. And then just having access to a cheap counter spell that can counter anything. And once it loses its value, you can't cycle Revolutionary Rebuff.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Yeah, this card's great. Censor's awesome.
Yeah, it's super good.
Not impressed by Cast Out, honestly.
Okay. That's reasonable.
I think from your side it was a little bit better because when I didn't have like a threat that needed to be exiled, you were able to cycle it. But from my side, I just always wanted to cycle it, so maybe it's not good in an aggro deck.
That makes sense. I mean, it's certainly slow, but it is versatile, and that's really the key. And you just feel a lot safer. It's like, I have cast out my hand, so if you just play Gideon, I'm not just going to die on the spot. So
Right.
Having
I do like the fact that it does have flash, so you're able to like EOT cast out the Gideon, untap, cast Fumigate, and be able to take care of everything and not take a big punch in the face from a Gideon. Where a lot of times, if you were playing a control deck and your opponent played a Planeswalker, you would have to deal with the Planeswalker or the creatures, and then you would have to deal with the other on the following turn.
Yeah, a pretty classic play pattern is like a Gideon deck would be incentivized to jam Gideon on turn 4, because it's, it costs 4, but like if they're leaving up Glimmer of Genius mana, then they have to choose whether to cast their Glimmer or to deal with the Gideon. And cast out kind of plays really well. It's like if they play something worth cast outing, obviously you cast it, and if you don't, then maybe you can draw 2 or something along those lines.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to be all for me and Michael today. Make sure to tune in the rest of the week. We're going to have a whole lot more Amonkhet Standard for you guys. And while I am not entirely optimistic about the, I don't know, playing against Mardu vehicles and 4 colors Saheeli, I do think that these new cards are breathing life into some other archetypes. And it's going to be interesting to see how that shapes out over the next couple weeks leading up to Pro Tour Amonkhet in Nashville, Tennessee. So that's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that, Standard is going to be very familiar. The top dogs are still going to be there, but the games are going to play out differently.
Yeah. This weekend, though, we do have Grand Prix Richmond, sponsored by StarCGames.com. That's going to be a limited Grand Prix in Richmond, Virginia. It's only a couple hours from here. Pretty happy about that.
Yep, definitely going.
Yeah, it's going to be sealed deck, Amonkhet, and day 2 is going to be draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. No video coverage, but if you can get out to the event yourself and play, do it. It's gonna be great.
Yep, a lot of fun. First Grand Prix showing off Amonkhet Limited.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Verse Stage of StarCGames.com, and we'll see you soon.